true paternity of Blue Ivy. She looks more and more like Kathy to me every day. While they try to do AI pictures to make her look more like Beyonce, caking her face up with all that light makeup to take away the dark, natural brown Brahmin tone that Kathy's skin had. Beautiful skin, long arms, shoulders.
Because from what I was told, Beyonce couldn't even have kids, allegedly.
She can't have kids. Her uterus is trash. But she had to come up with those 3 babies because that's what's in the marriage contract in order for her to get the extra $1 million for each kid.
Comments that they have to really listen in between the lines what you're saying, because there's actually a very important message that you're saying without actually saying it.
I always say blatant what I say. I never ever have a code or it's either you hear it or you choose to wanna acknowledge it or you don't. Those are the trollers, bro. Ain't shit I ever said was in between the lines, bro.
It's about what went down.
Kathy White's life was taken unfairly. She actually died screaming. And the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other.
Orlando Brown just stepped forward with a truth so heavy that Hollywood has spent more than a decade trying to bury it. And now, for the first time, he's not just repeating old rumors, he's explaining why the entire industry has been protecting the secret of Blue Ivy's real mother. And the reason is far darker than anyone wanted to believe. For years, people dismissed him as unwell, as a troubled former child star shouting into the void. But lately, piece by piece, the things he's been saying are lining up with court documents, death records, and the whispers that never die in the hallways of power. What he's uncovering doesn't just threaten a celebrity marriage, it rips the veil off a system of fear that keeps the biggest names in music, film, and media from ever speaking the name of the woman who gave birth to Blue Ivy Carter. This is a story about a young publicist who trusted the wrong people, a betrayal that turned fatal, and a little girl who has been raised inside a beautiful lie that an entire industry is terrified to shatter.
Considering talking to me and telling me her story about her affair with Jay-Z. So a few days go by and I'm following up with her, I'm calling her, and I can't get a hold of her. And I believe that this went on for a few days. And it was just really weird because she always answered her work phone. I thought it was really strange that she was answering her phone. She was MIA. I didn't know what the deal was. So I ended up reaching out to one of her colleagues. And when I finally got hold of one of her colleagues, they told me that she's dead. And I said, what? And
To understand why Orlando's words are causing so much panic right now, you have to go back to a time before Blue Ivy was even born. The year was 2010. Beyonce and Jay-Z were the undisputed king and queen of the music world, but there was a quiet ache behind the throne. Despite all the power and glory, they had been struggling to have a child. Rumors of miscarriages and failed attempts floated through gossip circles, though the couple never confirmed a thing. Around that same period, a vibrant, ambitious fitness and beauty expert named Kathy White entered their orbit. She was a publicist by trade, just 29 years old, with a glowing smile and a network of connections that reached deep into the industry. She had become close friends with Claudia Jordan, and through those circles, she crossed paths with Jay-Z on a video set. What started as a professional connection soon spiraled into something far more complicated.
Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Jay-Z's pregnant mistress who died of an imaginary
aneurysm.
People who moved in those shadows say that Jay-Z and Kathy began a secret romance, a passionate affair that burned right under the surface, while he was still very publicly devoted to Beyonce. It was messy, it was reckless, and it was about to become the secret that would change every life it touched. At the same time, the pressure to produce an heir was immense. The Carter brand wasn't just about music anymore. It was about dynasty, about legacy, about crafting an untouchable image of family perfection. And this is where the story takes a deeply unsettling turn. According to industry insiders and the investigators who never let this case go cold, Jay-Z came up with a plan. He introduced Kathy to Beyonce, not as his mistress, but as the perfect candidate to carry their child. The idea was heartbreakingly simple. Beyonce would wear a prosthetic belly in public and stage an elaborate pregnancy, while Kathy would quietly carry the baby in private. Once the child was born, the world would celebrate the Carters' miracle, and Kathy would fade back into the background with a generous payoff and a binding agreement to stay silent forever.
Jigga's tired of me, and so is Beyonce. They have allowed me to live, man.
On paper, it was a cold, transactional arrangement designed to protect an empire. But in reality, it was a powder keg soaked in secrets and lies, and the fuse was already burning. For a while, the plan seemed to work. Beyonce appeared at award shows cradling her bump, doing interviews where she glowed with maternal joy. But behind closed doors, the arrangement was cracking. Beyonce started to suspect that the connection between Jay-Z and Kathy hadn't ended when the surrogacy deal began. The late-night meetings, the whispered phone calls, the way Kathy looked at him when they thought no one was watching, it all pointed to a betrayal that cut deeper than any business dispute. The woman who was supposed to be a vessel for her child had become her husband's secret lover, and the realization shattered something inside that carefully constructed world. According to those who have studied the timeline, this was the moment the situation went from a scandalous cover-up to something genuinely dangerous.
I wish we still trying to find out who was in this Pimp C tape.
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, you know, Pimp, he used to be in the studio. And every now and then he'd have a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do something with the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it, but if I could have got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire, man. Hey, whoever it was, they went to kill me, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. But yeah, it is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. Okay. A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose, you know, as a Montana goose. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they also know who was having money at the time. So it's not really hard to figure out.
But here's the twist that changes everything. Kathy didn't just accept her role as a silent surrogate. She was young, but she wasn't naive. She had started documenting everything. She kept records of the promises made to her, the money that changed hands, and the intimate details of her relationship with Jay-Z. And she decided she was going to go public. She reached out to journalist Liz Crocken and scheduled an explosive interview meant to expose the entire operation. She was ready to reveal the fake pregnancy, the affair, and the way she had been manipulated into carrying a child under false pretenses. It was going to be the story that shook the entertainment world to its foundation. Liz Crocken was prepared, the cameras were ready, and Kathy was finally going to free herself from the weight of the secret she had been forced to carry. But she never got the chance. Just 24 hours before that interview was set to take place, Kathy White was found dead in her Manhattan apartment. The official cause was listed as a brain aneurysm. She was 29 years old, healthy, and gone in an instant. The timing was so impossibly convenient that even the most skeptical observers felt a chill crawl down their spines.
Had you ever been around anybody who was using drugs heavily as he was? Because he was pretty prolific at a certain point, right?
Well, I didn't see that side. He never did lean around me. Listen, Chad only did a cup of red wine like twice.
Really?
Yeah, so that whole situation with him, with them planting and like all that stuff was planted, bro. Like that's not even his stilo. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's levels to this.
He raps about lean a lot though.
Yeah, he raps about lean, but it's it's levels to this. I'm not gonna have it on me.
Do you think that they planted it? Who, the cops or his management team?
Well, hey man, I can't go into, out of respect for the family and out of respect for my sister Shanara and all of that, man, I'm just gonna keep all that quiet.
In the immediate aftermath, the story should have exploded. A woman with direct knowledge of the biggest celebrity secret in the world dies suddenly on the eve of her tell-all interview. But instead of a national outcry, a strange and suffocating silence fell over the entire industry. Liz Crocken took to social media and posted a message that was pure fire. She wrote that when Kanye West said Jay-Z has people, he was talking about the kind of people who made Kathy White disappear. She called out Jay-Z directly, saying she knew what he had done and that his time was coming. And then, as quickly as she spoke up, she fell silent. No major outlets picked up the thread, no investigative teams dug deeper. The machinery of Hollywood had kicked into gear, and the message was clear. This was not a story anyone was allowed to pursue. The manufactured silence held for years, but it couldn't stop the leaks entirely. In 2011, when Beyonce appeared on an Australian talk show, her pregnant belly appeared to fold and crumple in a way that no biological stomach ever could. The clip went viral before viral was even a word, and suddenly people weren't just whispering about a surrogate, they were staring at what looked like physical proof. The Carters scrambled to control the narrative, and they did it with the kind of brute financial force that only the ultra-wealthy can wield. Beyonce reportedly paid a hospital over $1.3 million to secure an entire maternity floor when Blue Ivy was born. Other new mothers were transferred away from their newborns to accommodate the lockdown. The husband of one of those women spoke out in frustration, describing how his wife, recovering from a C-section with twins, was treated like an inconvenience just so a celebrity could have total privacy. None of it made sense unless there was something enormous to hide. The money, the secrecy, the sheer scale of the operation, it all pointed back to one awful truth. Blue Ivy was already here, and the woman who had carried her was gone. Now, this is where Orlando Brown enters the picture, and his connection to the story goes far deeper than most people realize. Orlando didn't just read about this on the internet, he lived through a parallel nightmare. Before he started speaking out about the Carters, he spent years by the side of the legendary Pimp C, a mentor who taught him the inner workings of the music business and the price you pay for knowing too much. Pimp C had a vicious feud with Jay-Z, a feud rooted in disrespect, business double-crosses, and something far more explosive. Rumors have persisted for years that Pimp C possessed a secret recording of a famous R&B singer in a compromising situation with another rapper, a tape that could have detonated the carefully constructed images of some of the most powerful people in the industry. The singer in question has been long rumored to be Beyonce herself. On December 4th, 2007, Pimp C was found dead in a hotel room on the Sunset Strip. The coroner ruled it an accidental overdose of promethazine and codeine, but the details never sat right. According to DJ Paul and others close to him, Pimp C's body was positioned like he was kneeling in prayer, a symbolic staging that suggested he had been hit in the head before the scene was arranged. Orlando was there during those years. He saw the threats, felt the tension, and understood exactly what happened to people who threatened the wrong throne. So when he says today that he knows why Hollywood is hiding the identity of Blue Ivy's real mother, he's not guessing. He's speaking from the scar tissue of personal loss. What Orlando has been revealing in recent interviews and online outbursts is that the cover-up isn't just about protecting a surrogacy secret. It's about protecting a criminal enterprise that stretches from record labels to boardrooms to the darkest corners of the elite. He explains that Jay-Z and Beyonce wield a level of control that most people can't comprehend. It's not just about blacklisting a nosy journalist or ending a career. It's about the ability to make someone vanish completely in body and memory. He claims the reason Kathy White's name never trended, why Liz Crocken walked back her accusations, why Claudia Jordan suddenly came out after years of silence to downplay everything, is because the fear is real and immediate. Claudia's statement, in which she insisted Kathy was never pregnant around her and that the rumors were false, felt scripted to many. People noticed that she stayed silent for over a decade and only spoke up when Jaguar Wright started applying pressure, as if she had received a phone call reminding her of what was at stake. The industry saw that and understood the message: stay in line or you're next. But Orlando's most gut-wrenching revelation is about why the identity of Blue Ivy's real mother is being hidden from Blue herself. This isn't just about public relations, it's about a child who has been raised inside a narrative that erases her own origin. He says that those in power believe that if Blue Ivy ever fully understands that her biological mother was Kathy White and that Kathy died under horrifying circumstances right after trying to tell the truth, the psychological fallout could be catastrophic. The empire built around her image as the firstborn heir to a musical dynasty would crack. More dangerous still, a teenage Blue Ivy asking hard questions could trigger a chain of events that no legal team can control. So the strategy has been to surround her with a cocoon of luxury and distraction while ensuring that anyone who might speak the truth is painted as unstable, drug-addled, or insane. That's why Orlando says he's still breathing. The Carters have allowed him to live, he claims, because he has been successfully framed as a troubled soul whose words can be dismissed. But every time he opens his mouth, the people who know what really happened feel their stomachs drop, because they understand that the truth is a living thing, and it's growing inside a young girl who will one day be old enough to search for herself. What nobody expected was how the downfall of Diddy would start pulling these old secrets back into the light. As federal investigations began peeling back the layers of abuse, trafficking, and manipulation hidden inside the industry's most celebrated circles, the Kathy White story started to surface again. Liz Crocken resurfaced and made it brutally clear that her earlier silence wasn't consent. She doubled down, posting that when the truth finally comes out, Jay-Z and Diddy might end up sharing a prison cell. She referenced the interview Kathy was about to give and declared that justice was coming, no matter how long it took. The walls were closing in, and suddenly, Orlando's warnings didn't seem so erratic. People started revisiting his old interviews with fresh eyes, and the pattern was undeniable. He wasn't rambling. He was connecting dots that others were too afraid to acknowledge. The emotional weight of this saga lands hardest when you think about the human beings caught in the middle. There's a family out there who lost a daughter, a sister, a friend. Kathy White's loved ones have had to endure over a decade of silence while her name was dragged through tabloids and conspiracy forums, and they were denied the dignity of a real investigation. Then there's Blue Ivy herself, a gifted and graceful young woman who is growing up in the public eye with a loving relationship with the woman she believes is her mother. Imagine the earthquake that would happen inside her soul if she discovered that her birth was part of an arrangement that ended in tragedy, that her father's choices set a chain of events in motion that cost a woman her life. The psychological burden of that truth is almost too heavy to put into words. And yet, the burden of living inside a lie can be just as destructive, a slow poison that eats away at identity and trust. The people hiding this truth aren't just protecting a brand, they're sacrificing a child's fundamental right to know where she comes from, all to preserve an image that was never real to begin with. Orlando's decision to keep speaking, despite the mockery and the danger, comes from a place of raw pain. He lost a mentor to the same machinery. He has seen what happens when you threaten the wrong people. He knows that calling out the Carters could put a target on his back, but he also knows that silence is a form of death, too. Every time he brings up Kathy White, he's honoring her memory and refusing to let her be erased. He's saying to the world, look at this woman, look at what she was about to say, and ask yourselves why the entire machinery of Hollywood mobilized to make you forget her name. So here we stand with more questions than ever. Why is Hollywood really hiding the identity of Blue Ivy's real mother? It's not simply to avoid a messy headline or a temporary PR crisis. It's because the truth connects to a web of alleged crimes so severe that the entire edifice of modern celebrity culture could come crashing down. It ties directly into the Diddy case, the long whispered rumors of industry control, and the suspicious deaths of people who knew too much. Kathy White is not just a footnote in a gossip column. She is the key that could unlock a door behind which some of the most powerful people in the world have hidden their ugliest deeds. And Blue Ivy, whether she knows it or not, is living proof that those deeds have consequences that ripple across generations. A young girl should not have to carry the weight for father's secrets, but she already does, because the people around her chose to bury the truth rather than face it. The clock is ticking. She's getting older, and the question that keeps Hollywood executives awake at night is not if the truth will come out, but what she will do when she finally learns the name of the woman who gave her life and the price that woman paid to set her free.